and a zero.
Hello! Welcome to Big Bang Cinema. My name is not Isaac, the Natural Obligation Anderson.
I'm Tyler Keene.
Oh, come on, that was disappointing.
Oh,
And this is a movie show where we talk about movie news.
movie reviews.
Oh, you were a little late on that. And everything in between. Hold on, we're going to get up to speed. It's almost like I'm using like a Windows computer and I'm using Internet Explorer. When I talk to you, it takes a little longer.
It's almost like you got a Samsung and I'm using an iPhone.
That's true. Oh, no, it's all the way around, homie. Anyway, speaking about slow, the Beatles are going to be a part of a movie that Danny Boyle directed. It's called Yesterday, and Yesterday came out with a trailer. Yesterday. Isn't that ironic?
And it's interesting.
Yeah, so Yesterday, the plot of this movie is this guy right here wakes up in a world that doesn't remember the Beatles, or the Beatles never existed, and he's the only one that has any knowledge or memory of them. So he starts going around to write all the different songs that they have written in the past and take credit for them, and he becomes like really famous. And you can imagine that goes super well. Tyler, what do you think of the trailer?
Oh, I like the music in it.
Of course, but like, what do you think about the movie?
I'm not a big Beatles fan.
Really?
Honestly, this is about I felt if I was in that world, I wouldn't know. I would have known it before or after. Like, who wrote this song? I don't know.
That's blasphemy, man.
That is not blasphemy. They're all right.
Great. I didn't know this about you. This actually upsets me a lot.
Nah.
Oh my goodness.
Sgt. Pepper's overrated.
Okay, well, as far as the trailer goes, I really think this is a very neat concept. You can do this with a lot of other bands, but the Beatles just seems like it makes the most sense.
What if they did like Nickelback and the world's a lot better place?
Yeah, that would be like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Or
like you got to watch the first Spider-Man movie, and Foo Fighters did the theme song instead of Nickelback.
My goodness. Yes, exactly. Oh, by the way, that's executive producer Andrew Small. I forgot to intro him at the top of the show in case he has any thoughts on any pressing matters.
Which, by the way, Avril Lavigne and the lead singer of Nickelback have divorced. Everybody's sad that he didn't divorce the band.
Oh no, man! What in the world? That was a pretty good joke, I have to say. But yeah, the trailer. Danny Boyle directed it. Danny Boyle did Slumdog Millionaire. He did 127 Hours.
I believe he did a James Bond movie.
He was scheduled to do a James Bond movie, and he was dropped out of it. As far as kind of like this as a whole, I think this is a very fun concept, and I'm really curious. It looks like Ringo and Paul are going to be in there, which, I mean, at least we get one decent Beatle that's still alive.
Well, I think we get the only Beatles that are still alive.
Yeah, I'm saying Ringo is probably the luckiest man in show business.
What if John Lennon never died? It says John Lennon never died. That means that...
I have no idea
where you're getting at. I don't know where we're going with this. I feel like
the guy behind you never existed.
Yes. Well, Ed Sheeran is also in the movie, and apparently he gets wind of the guy that's like taking credit for all the Beatles songs. He's trying to produce his music and everything. And apparently James Corden's in there. Maybe he'll be funny. I don't know. Well, that might be a first. I'm just kidding, James Corden. If I ever happen to be on your show one day.
I would love to have James Corden on the show.
Yeah, he seems like a
James
pretty fun
Corden,
guy.
if you're watching this, please be on our show.
Anyway, the trailer looks like a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this movie. Hopefully it'll be as good as the concept.
The concept was interesting.
Okay. Any last thoughts on this?
Nope, my head is empty.
Okay. This is for a lot of things, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Speaking about empty, Kingsman 3 is happening, apparently. And Matthew Vaughn, the guy that directed the first two, is most likely going to be a part of it. Tyler, what do you think about this?
It's going to be a rehash from the first two.
What?
Like
You mean that like these movies are corporate products?
Exactly.
That like people literally just switch around the elements, and like studios have formulas.
I'm calling it right now. Everybody he learns and trusts is going to die. So he has to start over again. He has to go find help, and he's going to team back up with what was his name?
Colin Firth?
No. What was Colin Firth's name in the?
I don't know.
Did he become Arthur?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he teams up with Arthur, and they go to fight some millionaire philanthropist criminal that has a plot.
It's like a silly kind of deformity kind of thing.
And they're going to go to like Canada and like team up with a Canadian. Like they find a bottle of maple syrup, and it like leads them to Canada, and they find some Mounties that are actually some they're the Kingsmen there.
I don't buy that.
I would totally watch that.
As far as like Kingsman 3 actually becoming a thing,
They got explosive pucks.
That would be like they just fight with hockey sticks.
Hockey sticks.
Now,
explosive
that would be
puck.
pretty. I have to say, you're making it sound way cooler than it's probably going to
They
be.
ride moose.
Your movie sounds way better. But as far as kind of like the movie is probably going to be, first off, I did like the first two Kingsman movies. I don't think the second one was as strong as the first one. I still enjoyed it though.
Their codes names are famous hockey players.
Is that like the only thing Kansas got going for it? I'm sure they got more. To
Maple
it.
syrup, hockey, and beer. And Rush. That's the four things they got going for
They're
them.
having people like their prime minister too. And then
I certainly don't.
Okay, well that's neither here nor there. Shouldn't have even brought it up. But yeah, so them making a third one, I have no idea how this is going to go because the first one.
I just told you how it was going to go.
Well, as far as kind of like
They're going to rehash it.
where the story actually is, like in all seriousness, I think. I don't know if they do switch around the elements again and just kind of like make another fun movie. I'll be okay with it, but like this is actually like a really kind of weird and kind of funky franchise. I mean, it's kind of like the first one was like a nice breath of fresh air. I think it came out in January. It was like a real big surprise for people. People didn't have a whole lot of faith in it. It turned out really well, but I don't know. I like Matthew Vaughn as a director. I think he's got a really specific style. I think sometimes he gets a little frat boyish and a little bit kind of like bro-ish humor. But
I enjoy it.
I also like Taron Egerton, the guy that plays the main character. I think one of the first. Yes, well, that's his actor name.
Ignatius.
I think the world it's set in is kind of allows for some different characterization that I think it would be very interesting. So overall,
hold on, gears are turning again. They go to Australia and they team up with the Hemsworth brothers, and they got to fight Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is trying.
And Russell Crowe wasn't even cast. Like he just happened to stumble on set and he just wanted to fight someone.
Yeah, because he's fighting all around the world.
You find all what from 2001?
Him and his tugboat.
Him and his tugboat. Yeah, you know where that's from.
Yeah.
South Park. Anyway, yeah, Kingsman 3. Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Speaking about whatever, J.R.R. Tolkien is going to get a biopic movie, and guess what? They already filmed it. Nicholas Hoult and Lily Collins are in it, and it'll probably just have everything you recognize or know from The Lord of the Rings. Tyler, what do you think about this?
It's going to be like things happen in his life that like Slumdog Millionaire. There's little things happen
Wait,
in his life.
Slumdog Billionaire, is this the sequel to Millionaire?
No, Slumdog Millionaire.
You said Billionaire.
I meant that's how. Well, technically, if you win
Is
$1
this
million,
like the Too Fast, Too Furious of Slumdog Millionaire?
a millionaire in India is a billionaire. Now, a millionaire here is a billionaire in India, but they get it's things in his life where he learns throws it in the book like he finds a ring, translates the Saxon ring, and then it's gonna be like, oh look, you got big hairy feet like a that guy's like a hobbit. I just made that word up. He's like a hobbit.
He's gonna be fighting in the war, and he's gonna be like with this guy. He becomes really good friends, and halfway through their relationship, he's like, "What do I call you?" He's like, "The name's Bilbo."
Bilbo.
Or some crap like that.
Yeah.
And he has a little buddy named Frodo that happened to go on all these weird adventures, and he writes a book about it. And
he's got an ugly aunt that always wants to kiss him.
Why is he brooding in the picture behind you?
because everybody's got to be brooding. It's 2019.
Granny
Brooding is
Schmiegel.
in, man. Brooding is in.
Well, is C.S. Lewis going to be in this too? Because they actually helped write each other's books.
Yeah, I don't know. And they're probably going to ignore every one of J.R.R. Tolkien's books besides The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
This is basically the Lord of the Rings prequel, as far as how it was made.
It's the fourth wall, Lord of the Rings.
Basically. Although,
What if they start out with him writing the book and it's got it's just like how Lord of the Rings started. Him writing the story of the book.
that would be actually kind of interesting. I have to say, I kind of like that.
And then he meets Christopher Lee. He actually personally knew Christopher Lee.
Also, fun fact, because we were talking about the Beatles earlier, the Beatles were actually going to be in a version of Lord of the Rings that was going to be directed by Stanley Kubrick. I believe Ringo was going to be.
Place said he was going to be Gollum.
No, I don't think. I think he was going to play Pippin. I think that's his name. It's been a while since I saw Lord of the Rings. I know John and Paul were Frodo and Samwise. George Harrison, I forgot which one he was. He was the other one that wasn't Pippin. The Dominic Monaghan.
Mary?
Yeah, Mary and Pippin. Yeah, sorry. Been a while since I've seen the movies.
Hey,
but yeah,
Mary, we got to go drop the ring.
I think this is.
That's pretty good. That was good.
Oh man, it's a long journey. We got to help Frodo. We got to help Frodo, man. Oh look,
That's
I found
actually probably
mushrooms.
the best
Let's eat the
voice
mushrooms,
you do.
Mary. oh, let's sing a song too while we eat these mushrooms.
It's like, Frodo, what'd you do this morning? Woke up, got out of bed, drag a comb across my head.
That'd be pretty funny because the part of the movie where they find they find the mushrooms. They're like picking the mushrooms, but they found like a pile of cow crap. They're like picking the mushrooms out, and it's like shrooms, and they're like eating the shrooms, and they like go on a little magical like adventure. Like I'm actually down for this. I want to see this movie.
Well, it's passed because like 3 out of 5 of those people are dead. Because Stanley Kubrick included. But as far as kind of like this movie, the J.R.R. Tolkien movie, I think this could be interesting, but I seriously doubt it will be. It will be stripped of everything besides the things that we know or recognize from those books. And that's J.R.R. Tolkien as it was. And
Gandalf comes to me, whispering words of wisdom. Let it be.
They go to whoever Ringo's playing. He's like, what do you think? What do you think, Pippin? Go. Cool, thanks. Is that the only drum beat you can do, Pippin? Yes, got me this far. Thank you.
Hey, he goes, how does it feel being a part of the Fellowship, Pippin? Oh, is Pippin the best drummer in the Fellowship? He's not, is
Pippin's the least talented out of all of us.
Is Pippin the greatest adventurer in the world? He's not even the greatest adventurer in the Fellowship. Like, oh snap, they're just bragging on Pippin now because it's Ringo Starr.
He's like, I'm going to go take my octopus's garden.
And yeah, the part where the Kraken comes out of the water, attacks him. It's a big yellow octopus.
Got to go back to my yellow submarine.
Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be really funny.
Okay, I guess he's like, and I'll end on this because we got to move on.
I want to do a 30-minute skit where we come up with this movie idea.
I'm sure somebody's already done that, but at the very end. Oh my goodness! Yeah, it's like, and like Frodo's gonna look at whoever Ringo's playing, probably Pippin, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I think we're going to fail. What should we do? He's like, we can do it with a little help from my friends.
And then it shows like Paul is Frodo, and he's like doesn't want to get the ring up. Like, Paul, don't sell out. Throw the ring in the volcano.
But Kanye's there.
Kanye Spiegel.
Rihanna's there too. It's like basically they're like the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I actually want to see this movie now. This is more interesting than that one. Anyway, speaking about interesting, the last topic for the movie news topics today, Child's Play came out with a trailer for the reboot, and it actually looks pretty interesting, I have to say. Yeah. Tyler, what do you think about this trailer?
I must say I really do not care.
Really?
I do not care at all for Child's Play. It got uninteresting after the first one.
Well, this one, I really like the fact, in case you don't know what Child's Play is, basically, imagine a creepy doll came to life and tried to kill somebody, like specifically a child. That's basically the premise. So this one takes a little bit of a different approach, because I imagine there's been different iterations of this.
I think they're robots instead of like just straight up dolls.
Well, they're like guardian robots, like basically like they're attached to Wi-Fi, and they're there to monitor the kids and whatnot, and I really like that. I think that's a really cool idea. It's very modern in its approach, and it's different from the other ones too. Oh, did you just make a noise out of your chest?
Yeah, I just growled at this.
I think everyone at home just thought there was an earthquake. I have to acknowledge the fact that no, there's nothing wrong with your television station. That was something that came out of Tyler's body.
I'm growling at this because it looks like it's going to suck. It looks like it's going to really suck.
It's probably not going to be good. I like Aubrey Plaza's face, so I might be a little bit distracted by the fact that she's in this movie. But I think the concept is there. I think the possibility of this being a total soft reboot of the first one is 99%. Like confirmed.
Yeah.
But as far as where they're going with it, I'm happy with it. I guess that's all we got to say about that. Tyler, you got any last thoughts on this?
Why?
I ask that every single day. Guys, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything that we've talked about so far, what was that came out of Tyler? What things do you have to know about the J.R.R. Tolkien movie? Was Ringo the most talented Beatle? If the answer is no to all of these, you're correct.
He wasn't even the best drummer in the band.
No, he wasn't. You can go to facebook.com/Studio67NCC to hear more. Or if you guys want to leave a comment or something like that, watch some past episodes. Yep. It's all great. It's all Gucci in the Institution, as I like to say. Guys, we're going to take we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, fun segment. What is it? You're going to figure out when we get back.
I don't know why they're reading.
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
time to pursue your career in veterinary medicine. Nash Community College now offers an Associate in Applied Science degree in Veterinary Medical Technology. This is your chance to become a registered vet tech and work with a variety of animals. Learn about radiology, client education, animal wellness, treatment, laboratory techniques, anesthesia, and more. Now accepting applications. Call 252-451-8390 or visit nashcc.edu/VMT today.
I said, no, 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 I don't hold the ring no more. Tired of waking up on the floor. There you go. You were watching earlier, you know where that's from.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac Rolls Anderson. I don't know where that was going to go.
Should have been Isaac Wallpaper T-shirt Anderson.
That really goes well, too. Okay, and Tyler I don't know, Shorty King?
Jugrug King. There we
I don't know. Anyway, guys, there are a lot of movies that make me very angry, specifically movies that are very unnecessary, that go back and ruin movies that I really like. So I thought we might do that in Imagination Land.
So we're going to ruin our own favorite movies.
Well, these are, we're going to call this pitching prequels, okay? So prequels are a big thing now, okay? People want to go back and explain everything of the simple movies that we really like and kind of overcomplicate a story that isn't really like that. That isn't very complex and doesn't need explanation like a Die Hard or Star Wars.
That was actually a good title you come up with.
Pitching prequels?
Yeah.
It's better than some of my other titles, I have
Yes,
to
it
say.
has.
The one that you suggested one time, you got to watch old episodes when he suggested I should do Stealing the Show. That was a great one. You'd have to look that up. I don't remember what episode that is. But we have each picked a movie. Myself, Tyler, and I believe Drew. Drew doesn't have anything, so it's just going to be us.
All right.
I'm going to go first. This one, I decided to make a prequel about Jaws. Now, this can go one of two ways. Drew and I were talking about this earlier. So first off, Jaws does not need a prequel. A prequel would absolutely obliterate everything I like about this movie. There is no good prequel idea to Jaws, which makes it perfect for me to pitch in this segment. So, here, imagine this, okay? We open in a science lab. Scientists are walking around. It might be in the 1950s, early 1950s. World War II had just ended a few years earlier. You know, there's still some Soviet scientists working in this lab. And get this, there's a shark that they're working on. A baby shark. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Pause it. There's InGen logos. It's now a crossover with Jurassic Park.
No.
No.
No, we can't make this any worse than we can't add another Spielberg
You
property.
can kill
on this.
2 movies with 1 stone.
Kill 2 movies with 1 shark. So they're working on a shark. So Jaws is now established as a science project from a former Nazi scientist to be a super engineered shark that is able to hunt humans at an extremely fast pace, and it also remembers. Get this. They have engineered it to remember, and our main characters are some of these former scientists and everything. And get this. A young child walks around that we will know as Bodhi later on. And so, Bodhi is just a child walking around the ship. By the way, this is produced by George Lucas. Just because kids and meeting things, characters that they shouldn't meet early on. There's going to be a scene where Bodhi goes up to the tank and somebody's going to say, "Little Bodhi, meet Jaws." That's going to happen in this movie. And so they're going to form a connection. Bodhi's going to remember this shark, and the shark remembers him. And so they become very good friends. Bodhi always comes to visit the shark, and one day Bodhi gets taken away. Okay, his dad leaves. Okay, and his dad is replaced.
Hey, Isaac?
Yes.
I think you mean Brody.
Brody. Not, am I saying Bodhi? Brody.
You said Boaty.
I meant Brody.
It's like you got a friend at the boat?
Bodhi, yeah. I turned into a little up north, don't you know? It's Brody. Yes. Anyway,
sound
Brody's
Russian.
father takes Brody away, and Jaws starts to miss him quite a lot. And this makes Jaws start struggling with alcoholism. And this is really where the crux of the movie starts to kind of go around. He starts smoking shark cigarettes. He suffers with shark depression.
Start swallowing license plates.
Because he doesn't know Brody was taken away by his father. He thinks that he was abandoned, okay? And so he starts getting very aggressive, okay? Alcohol does a lot to a man.
Yeah.
And he does even more to a shark. Okay,
Yeah.
So Brody's father has been replaced with a fresh out of the Navy Quint, and Quint comes there, and he takes over. Now the shark is very aggressive, and Quint comes in as a fresh-faced man from the Navy, and now he has a grudge against sharks because this is his image of sharks. And he leaves. His last line in the movie, as he quits the organization that's working the shark, he just goes, I'm going to kill that sucker one day. Just keep that in mind. It's foreshadowing. And so at the end of the movie, Jaws gets out to go search for his long-lost buddy, friend Brody, but this time he's no longer a friend. He abandoned Jaws. He's trying to get his attention. And the movie ends with Jaws going to go kill the first guy that he killed in the first movie. So that's my idea. Hopefully, it'll get greenlit and I'll get some royalties because I can see George Lucas making that. And also George Lucas is tight with Spielberg.
And there's going to be a lot of scenes where people are talking to each other and they go stand over to a window.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of shot, reverse shot. Everything's going to be on a green screen. Jaws is going to have like a terrible CGI thing. And
everybody's going to be sitting down talking.
yeah, and it's going to be really flat wooden dialogue.
Yeah. And you'll definitely have to have something about sand in it because it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Oh yeah, it'll have something like that, and it'll have some unnecessary
I hate
character.
sand.
Quint's gonna,
Sand shark.
He's gonna talk like a racist stereotype from the 20s and go, "Oh, Misa don't like the shark. Go on!"
Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds great. George, take that $4 billion you got from Disney, do something with it.
Give it to me.
Anyway,
Give it to
Tyler,
Isaac.
what is your prequel idea?
It's the prequel to Fight Club, and it's going to be about the narrator, which you never find out the narrator's name, but it's going to be the narrator, him in high school, and it's about moments in his life that gave him a split personality.
Okay.
Like he's going to be in high school and he gets bullied, and then but you see like the whole movie like little flashes in the corner, reflections. You see Brad Pitt in the corner, and like you have to look real hard to see him. It's kind of like a flash and it's about him. There was a anarchist down the neighborhood named Tyler Durden, and Tyler Durden, the narrator always like Tyler Durden is so cool. He doesn't care what people say about him. He just does what he wants to do. And then he's all about he's all about anarchy, and he learns what anarchy is from this guy. At the very end, like he becomes Tyler Durden, but he doesn't know it. Like the personality like jumps at the very end and beats the crap out of like a bully, then goes back in. And then but he never knows it happened. And it shows him skips later about him in school, goes to college, and he gets that job, and it shows him in IKEA. And then it shows him at the very end.
I already hate this.
And then it shows him at the very end, and he sit at the computer desk, and his little computer, and he's like at his job, and you can see like the reflection is Brad Pitt, and that's when the personality actually comes out.
So this is just like the first movie, but worse?
No, it's not the first. The first movie, Tyler Durden was everywhere. He only comes out like twice in the movie.
Okay.
But you see his images like from the perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole premise is like he kind of discovering that he is this guy.
And then his personality is like he doesn't know it, but the personality developing.
This actually might, if it was done by like a David Fincher, that actually might be kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. But done like with the hands of like a worse director.
I give it a $5 million budget. $5 million budget.
Oh no, this is no way that's going to turn out well.
And
how are you going to get Edward Norton for that much? That's
no,
that's how much he costs like a day.
You don't need Edward Norton. You just need his voice.
Well, that's the thing, though.
I mean, that tells that much to like put him in a sound booth. I mean,
because that's the way I made it. You're gonna have like I would say Isaac Butterfield as like young narrator, and then like an adult, you never see his face, see the back of his head, but the computer's reflection is Brad Pitt.
That's kind of neat. I have this. You're making this sound interesting and not terrible.
And then and he makes like a little friend, he's got an imaginary friend. Like it turns out Tyler Durden what was an imaginary friend he has as a kid.
Are we going to see Meatloaf's character Bob before like he?
He's like Briff. He's like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, he's like a bodybuilder before he started getting like.
And then it shows him in college again, and then it shows like him again. He's like in the mirror going, "What in the world?" He's like,
"Oh, what a sad time."
Yeah.
Okay, and
I think I would watch more of from the Marla perspective, like how she got to where she was.
That seems more interesting. Yeah. Really, if we were going to make it good.
Rip-off spin-off about the church support groups.
That would be kind of weird.
Yeah.
Depressing and weird. That'd be great.
I don't know. Well, judging on the things that we have told you, my Jaws prequel, produced by George Lucas, might be it's definitely written by George Lucas. It might be directed by George Lucas. I don't know. It was directed by George Lucas. All the shot for shot will be in there. Or Tyler's Fight Club prequel. Which one?
$5 million budget now.
Mine is $85 million.
You got a cameo from Brad Pitt that wasn't even Brad Pitt. It was restock footage.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, the director is going to be some Scandinavian guy that directed some movie up in Sweden that 5 people saw.
You've already had your turn, sir. You've already had your turn.
Yes. I was going to say, mine has an $85 million budget, and it's going to look like it was made in a weekend.
Yeah.
I like a good prequel from Tyler there. However, I would go with Jaws, and I'll accept your pitch only if you give it over to Ken Watanabe-style anime from the 90s.
Huh.
That seems like it would actually make it good. We need to make this horrible, is a thing.
Stop
Because-
motion.
Then you should find.
If we're,
You should get your favorite director.
yeah, my favorite director.
Your least favorite.
Zack
director.
My least
Snyder.
favorite. If Zack Snyder directed that, I can see it because it would be like dark, gritty, and depressing, and like I can see that. Or like a Michael Bay would make that. Actually, he might make it. Make the boom booms look cool. And boom booms, I mean explosions, not whatever else you were thinking of. And yeah, who knows, guys? Let us know who you want to direct these terrible prequel movies. You can leave a comment at facebook.com/studio67ncc, or leave us your ideas for prequels down in the comments below. We love to hear what you guys have to say. But anyway, next week on Quick Flicks, we're going to be reviewing Alita Battle Angel, which apparently is getting awesome reviews.
It's supposed to be the highest rated anime live action of all time, behind the South Korean Old Boy.
It surprised me. It looked like hot garbage in the trailer, but apparently it's really, really good. So anyway, that's our show. My name's
Well, I guess we can say that James Cameron's raising the bar again.
he just produced it. It's Robert Rodriguez directed it. So I mean,
okay, Robert Rodriguez directs. So I'm like, ugh.
yeah, that's gonna be something.
It's like throwing a dart blindfold. He either hits the bullseye or hits somebody in the back of the neck.
And then he gets sued.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. My name's Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Robert Rodriguez should really direct that Jaws prequel. See you next week.
He probably should.